YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back together again. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the last and end of the month video for August of 2022. And today we're doing all 5 new releases of August 2022. Yes, I've only seen 5 new releases, from the worst to the best. Let's go ahead and get started. Now for me, I wouldn't consider any of these movies to be bad, but for me, I would say that this is easily the weakest of those films because I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I mean, of course, it's better than most of the Predator movies that we've gotten so far. Like, it overall is a better film than most of them, but I just can't, I'm not invested to it. The characters I don't even remember. I like the different sort of vibe where instead of the Predator being the hunter, there's actually people that are hunting the Predator, which makes it kind of cool. But I guess I enjoyed it enough, but I can't say that I really liked it. It's not one of my favorite films. Now, this was a film I was actually kind of excited for, but also nervous because I don't really love the Ninja Turtles films. Not many of them are really good. And when this film was announced, and then they said that it's going to be like part of the Nickelodeon series, and I'm like, oh, I don't know about that because they have like superpowers, so I'm not the biggest fan of that. And then they kind of made a film that actually really worked, where when you go into the past, you see these characters that are so out of context, but then they actually learn to be the characters that are supposed to be. And I think it's kind of an interesting journey. While I'm not the biggest fan of what they do with Master Splinter and April O'Neil, I love everything else. I'm also not the biggest fan of them having superpowers, but besides that, this film was actually a pretty big surprise for me. Now, this is another movie that I was like, this is a great movie. Where you have Owen Wilson as a superhero, unlike Loki, and as Mobius. In this film, basically get him as a superhero called the Guard, and you have his kid and his son and his friends find out that he is the Guard, and finding out all this cool technology where you have a portal that goes through a head, so it shows the rest of the other thing in the other portal, and then like all these other cool tech. Instead of a magic wand, it's a magnet wand. All of that technology is really cool. And then of course you got Michael Pena as our villain, who could be very charismatic and fun. And some of the action sequences I thought were pretty awesome. The CGI with the suits and everything looked kind of funky, but overall I thought the film was an absolute blast, and I had a lot of fun with it. Now for me, this was like a pleasant surprise from Netflix, as it's basically a film starring Jamie Foxx, and he's a vampire hunter. And from the premise of that, that's awesome, and this movie absolutely works. And really what makes it work is, first off, the action is absolutely well choreographed, and literally it's in the opening sequence where he fights a vampire, and it's like, it gave me a little bit of Conjuring 3 vibes in the opening sequence of that film. And the action in here is absolutely brutal, and it doesn't just feel like a horror film, it also just is well choreographed in the way all of it's done. And even certain characters get on the action, and they do awesome stuff. And then even some of these side characters I thought were great with. Even Snoop Dogg gets to do some action in here. And it has great action, it has great characters, the soundtrack is pretty cool, the guest appearances in here are great. So for me, it's just a film that had a bunch of things going for it that I thought was absolutely amazing. Now, when they announced that they're making Orphan 2, I was like, this is something I'm so excited for, I cannot wait. But then they announced that it's going to be a prequel. That had me nervous because I'm not the biggest fan of the idea of that. Because it's like the story of the original family doesn't sound interesting to me. But if I'm being honest, they actually nailed it with everything that they were able to do. From doing the twist of the brother and the mom twisting on the brother, who were characters in the original film that did not like the new stepsister. They're actually the psychotic people, and they're a lot more psychotic than Esther is. And Esther is actually a name that Isabel Furman's character is taking over, and her real name is Lena, or Mina, or whatever her name is. So, I thought the twist was great, the performances were great, there was a lot of great stuff from this film. I look back on it, and maybe there's not a lot of stuff that was great. I guess I just went over the twist. But I thought it was a great movie to the original film. So, for me, that's my ranking of all 5 new releases of August 2022. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All on social media stuff is about the section over there. And if you guys don't know, I'm filming this on August 26th at like 2 in the morning. And I'm tired, so see you guys in September.